Oh, honey. Oh, yay, good idea. So, Dr. Paul here. This little one is less than a month old and is constantly in pain. So, we're going to go talk to Mom. She's tried everything. And it's not fun, huh? I've been in here trying to calm this little one for a while. So normally babies will just settle in when I kind of tuck them in like this. And she's bucking. She does not want to be tucked in. So if you've got a baby that for whatever reason, maybe it's that reflex, they want their head back a little bit. It's just kind of, my arm is loose. But as she's going to let me, I'm going to try to tuck her head into my chest so she can just relax and maybe go to sleep. I think during the birth process, or maybe it's their position in the womb, their head is one way or the other. So if you're naturally like this, looking over, she's looking over, her left shoulder seems to be pretty comfortable. You can see she's sort of settling into me a little bit here, looking over her left shoulder. If I try to switch her the other way, I think I'm going to get resistance. Let's see, can you do that side? It seems to be a little harder. Yep, she's fighting it. All right, we'll go back to this other way and see if you settle better that way. Let's see, it's okay. Oh. So, the new parent dance, folks. This one, you get your exercise. It's up and down while you sway back and forth. You support the head. I'm not pushing on this head very hard. But I want her to just sort of finally kind of melt into my chest, but she's pushing back, which might be that reflex, or because at this point we drank a fair amount now, right?
Yeah, there was 4 ounces.
There was 4 ounces, so we've almost had a full feeding. So this isn't hunger anymore. This is my tummy hurts, or I can't get comfortable because of the reflex, or neck spasms from positional things. In addition to the baby massage that I'm telling you about, I'm going to try one other thing. I'm going to take the back of the head and just pull. Turn the head to one side and pull. Turn the head to the other side and pull. Oh, I know. This actually doesn't hurt. It just looks odd. Oh, honey, I know. I've had kids who come in with what we call torticollis. So your head is off to one side. And just by doing that gentle traction, I've had those kids walk out with their heads moving perfect. And I've seen it happen a lot in babies who come in really fussy and kind of preferring one side, that they'll relax. And it's like, oh, unpinch that nerve. But I'll tell you, a typical baby this age who's had a nice feeding, I mean, this should just put you right to sleep. And how many hours a day are you having where she's crying?
All day. And I haven't checked.
So we're talking like 6, 8, 10 hours? Yeah. So a normal baby at this age, so colic, which we think of as this crying, colic peaks at about 6 to 8 weeks. So we are at the worst right now. But even at its worst, it shouldn't be more than 2 to 4 hours a day. And you're having...
She's either asleep or she's doing this.
And she's just miserable, right? I mean, we're just miserable. Honey, I know, baby. It's okay. I know. You know, the other thing we were just chatting about momentarily was there's an aspect of hunger here too, just the way she frantically goes. She's ravenous because she's been eating, and then the moment she starts eating, it starts to hurt. You see that arch? So she just barely took a few swallows, and then it's like, oh, this is hurting because I think it's triggering that reflex. So you got the gist of it here. We've got an unhappy 6-week-old who's probably having reflux that's causing pain in the esophagus, causing this arching, and then it's hard to eat a lot because of reflux and spitting up and pain. So then you're hungry. And then on top of that, we may have a little bit of torticollis where the neck is a little, tweaked. And so you're not comfortable that way either. So we're going to try a baby massage. We're going to try ranitidine, which is an H2 blocker that should help with the acid. And then the best advice I can... Oh, I know, honey. I'm sorry. The best advice I can give parents, if you have a baby that's tough like this, can what you eat increase your risk of addiction? The answer is an absolute yes. You're triggering a release of dopamine, among others. And this neurotransmitter gives you that sense of just well-being, a little sense of less pain, that feel-good euphoria that you might sense. And it may be so subtle when it comes to food that you're not even aware of it. But when you continually take highly processed foods, gluten in particular, other grains that are highly processed, sugars, you're just getting this tiny little hit. And when it goes away, you have this tiny little aspect of withdrawal or craving. And it can set that cycle of addiction. Join me on social media as we further this discussion and find ways to get ourselves on the mild end of the addiction spectrum, take back control of our lives, and gain back the freedom we so deserve. Please, 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 if you feel your frustration level reaching the boiling point, just take them to their crib, lay them down, take a walk. You know, because the worst thing that can happen, I mean, one of my kids was not this tough, but fairly tough. And I remember one time, I'd fed them, I'd walked the floor like this for 2-3 hours, and I was exhausted. And they were crying like this, like I was hurting them, right?
And it's hard.
It's hard to do. Look at this arching. That's not a normal baby feeding position. It's like, I'm hurting. So you can walk away. Your crying never killed anybody, right? So when you've reached your limit, put the baby down, go to the other room, take a walk, come back when you're feeling a little rested and restored, because we don't want to get so frustrated we like throw the baby down and like, you know, that's how babies get hurt.
Right.
And that having been said, you can't spoil a baby this age. So as long as you've got the energy to do, oh baby, I'm sorry, oh, you're having such a hard time. This is real pain, right? So this is real discomfort. And you just do whatever you can to try to help them feel better. Oh my goodness, oh my goodness, oh my goodness, that's so tough. And if you're a parent with a child who's this tough, get help, right? If you have any mama types who can just take her for a little while, I mean, you need a break. Yeah. So, and tough babies aren't the ones you leave with guys who don't know how to deal with babies.
Hey.
Hey. You want to try this? So I happen to love babies, so I can handle this. Although after hours, you know, I think it would be tag, you're it. Now, some babies do really well if they're really wrapped up and confined.
I've never,
really
when I swaddle her with her arms up because she wants to always have something in her mouth. And
nearby.
I'm wondering if she puts stuff in her mouth to try to suck and console the tummy or the digestive issues.
I think when she's crying, she's sucking air. So if she sucks a little air while she's on a pacifier or whatever, so what? I mean, crying, you're going to suck air.
Yeah.
So
you don't think it's necessarily a gas issue?
I have a feeling there's reflux. I don't know about gas.
Okay.
But we'll try the elemental formula that's very easy to digest. And we're going to try the ranitidine, the acid blocker, and then I'll give you Dee Dee's referral information.
Okay.
This one's tough.
I know.
Yeah.
It makes me sad because she looks like she's always uncomfortable.
I can't imagine. Yeah, it must be horrible.
We'll get through this though, and it will definitely get better.
Okay.
Yeah. Anytime a baby is inconsolable, check with your doctor, right? There might be something else going on. And that little gentle technique I showed of traction is something you should probably leave to your physician or somebody who's experienced in doing that. This video is for educational purposes only, and thanks for watching. I'm Dr. Paul.
Good luck, Mama.